What's up, King Kevin in the building. Today's video is about surviving or thriving. Which one are you?
King Kevin. King Kevin.
Most of us, if we're honest with each other or with ourselves, we are just surviving. We're barely making it with our nose above water, or some of you with your neck just above water, and any wrong move guaranteed drowning or death or failure. And that's not what life is about. Life is about enjoying. Life is about being able to appreciate the small things, the simple things in life, and not be constantly worrying about what's the next fashion, or what's this next social media post about, how many likes I have, or how many people are going to come to my party. See, we are stressing over the wrong things, which places our brain and our energy pointing it to the wrong direction, misguided energy, which is why most of us, when we watch the news, or catching the news on our Instagram or Twitter, you see a type of behavior, a self-destructive behavior in a lot of these videos, especially with the current events happening with George Floyd, rest in peace, and Rashad Brooks. Things have been going on since Sean Bell up there in New York, or Rodney King. These types of beatings, these types of tortures are causing us to be in a state of paranoia. And it's misdirecting our energy into ways and fashions that aren't productive. They are not getting us where we want to be in life. And that's what life's about. Getting where we want to be. Not remaining in the same place, the same time, year after year, doing the same thing year after year, month after month, week after week, day after day, and expecting something different. If you don't like the way your life is going, if you don't like the way things are, you have to do something drastically to change it. Sometimes when I was going through some things, they say even for college, graduating college 2005, some of you know my testimony, which I wrote about my first book, The Courage to Believe, Never Give Up, Keep Moving Forward. Some of you know my story about how when I was graduating college, and in my book, The Courage to Believe, Never Give Up, Keep Moving Forward, and I talk about how I was doing my best to get my college degree, and it seemed impossible. It was an unsurmountable amount of stress and pressure that I was going through. And I just felt as if I had to go against the grain, go against the forces of nature that was pointing for me to stop or to quit and to drop out of school and remain dropped out. But I came back into school, I fought, I won, got my degree 4 or 5 years later, 2005, bachelor's in political science, minor in marketing, started a couple of businesses, wrote 3 books, produced 2 films, and I'm loving the grind. I love it because each step, each victory that you make and that I've made, but each one that you've been able to accomplish should be celebrated. I don't care if it was an A on a test, or you did your own oil change, or your daughter, your son was able to get some good grades, or do something kind for somebody, or you've been trying to teach them how to do something. I don't care who it is, if they're in your circle, if they're in your court, or your royal court, I call mine King's Court, as you can see on my website. Celebrate that, because it boosts your morale, boosts their morale. It gives them confidence to take on even bigger challenges. And that's what the story of David in the Bible is about. He was able to, first of all, before he even fought Goliath, which really represents the mountains in your life, being able to be the God over your adversity instead of your adversity being the God to you. God gave us the power to be gods on earth, not peasants, not chickens, not worms. You understand? David, before he became king, he fought lions and tigers and all types of wild animals in the wild, protecting the sheep. He was grinding all that time. People looked at him as if he was insignificant because he wasn't in the big house. But he was in the field preparing himself to be king. He didn't know it, but he knew there was something great in him. So while we're going through the trenches of life, while we're going through the pressures, the adversities, the mountains, the hurdles, just know that you're being prepared for something great. But the only way you will ever see that day to reach that level of your life you've been dreaming, what you've been fighting for, praying for, meditating for, working hard towards. You must not quit. You must continue to push forward, knowing that all things are possible. Repeat after me. All things are possible for those that believe. And I believe in myself. As a matter of fact, I probably believe in myself enough for 10 people. You know, that's the type of faith and confidence you have to have in this world if you're going to make it. If you're going to survive, go from surviving to thriving in this world, you have to believe in yourself enough to know that you have the victory before you've begun. Now, first thing I want to make sure you guys understand, you must be focused. You must have a clear vision of where you want to go. It must be clear. The clearer you have your vision, your goals, the easier it becomes to accomplish it, because now you can remove distractions. Remove the naysayers. Remove the things that are causing you to think that there's doubt. There's a chance that I may not make it, may not survive. Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Messiah Marcus Garvey, once said, and one of my biggest quotes, he said that before you even start something, just know that you have the victory before you even begun. Because if you don't have the confidence, you've already failed before you even started. But with confidence, you've already won before you've begun. That means that in your spirit, you have to already embrace the victory, embrace the manifestation, seeing in your mind, in your spirit, what you want to accomplish before you actually go ahead and do it. Because by doing that, you've already won spiritually, and everything in the spiritual realm transforms into the physical realm, which equals to manifestation, which equals to success, productivity. You follow what I'm saying? That's very important. Number 2, dreams do come true. Dreams are goals with deadlines. I like using the word lifelines instead of deadlines. Some people get thrown off by that, especially because I work in corporate America. But by having a date for your dreams to come true, now you're putting, a little pressure on yourself to accomplish that goal. By doing that, now you have what it takes to actually formulate your brain cells to go ahead and accomplish those goals. You have to put those things in your mind. The mind is made to be conditioned. So by having a date, you condition your mind for success. Next thing I want to go ahead and talk about is self-sabotage. Many of us self-sabotage our goals by not understanding what we're saying and what we're doing and how it's impacting us. My next book is called The Winner in the Mirror, which is actually the premise behind this video. The Winner in the Mirror, activating your superpowers, mind, body, and spirit. By having the right type of self-image about yourself, having the right reflection in the mirror. I call it a spectacular reflection in my book. Being able to see yourself beyond who you are right now. Because some of us, when we are struggling, it's all we see. It's the pressure, the pain, the hurt, the lack. And when you do that, now you have this depressive state of mind. It's not a winning mindset. It's a losing mindset that perpetuates more losing behavior and thinking. But when you look at yourself, despite of your economic situation, despite how things are looking like, because that's what faith is, believing beyond what it looks like. You may not have $1 to start that business. You may not even have a computer to even write that book. But I'm sure you can find some paper and some pens. I'm sure you can find a pen. I'm sure you can find a library. And if you don't have no lights in your house, I'm sure you can find a street light somewhere at nighttime if you want to read or get some writing done. You see, there's always a way. If there's a will, there's a way. But when we self-sabotage ourselves, we shoot ourselves in the leg, in the knee, wherever, in the foot. Some of us shoot ourselves in the foot every day. As soon as we wake up in the morning, what are we doing? We're cussing at someone, reading a text message that might have rubbed us the wrong way, and we react to that, or some social media post. No, pray first in the morning. You gotta be able to pray first in the morning, and don't just pray from a position of begging or being weak. Know that you're the child of the Most High God, knowing that anything is possible for those that believe. When you believe in yourself, you'll believe the mind power activation that you've just created, you've just begun. Believing yourself activates your mind power, understanding who you are, what you are, and where you want to go. You have to formulate your mind. There are over 200 billion brain cells, not just in the brain in our head. Did you know there's a brain also in our heart, and also one in our solar plexus, which is our stomach? Did you know that? And each and every one of these three brains, which is the Trinity, has its own power, has its own neural pathways that it creates when you give an idea or you have a gut feeling. You know how you say, oh man, I got this feeling in my gut, or I got this gut feeling? That's your brain talking to you from your stomach. They all three connect with each other. One of the things that are ancient mystery schools, in the motherland, whether it was in Kemet, which is Egypt today, or Kush, Ethiopia, or Dahomey in the West, the ancient mystery schools understood that the trilogy between the three, when you're able to connect the three, anything is possible. Why do you think they was able to create these wonderful pyramids and monuments and edifices and just structures that last thousands of years? As a matter of fact, they still lasting today. Here's one right here behind me, one of the pharaohs. During this time period, they understood who they were. They understood that they were gods having a human experience, not just ordinary people. They believed in themselves, and they had meetings with one another, meetings of the minds. When you're able to have a meeting of the minds and that energy, that electricity from my brain to your brain, or all three brains to your three brains, it's a beautiful thing. That's why when you're in love with someone, in love with your companion, you guys are on the same frequency. You're thinking for each other. You're making moves together because you had a meeting of the mind. And so the best thing you can do to not sabotage yourself, get rid of those are in your circle that aren't really supposed to be there. Now, one of my videos back in the day, I talked about how to place people in their places, in their circles. There's business circle. There's a entertainment circle, possibly. There's a spiritual circle. There's a mentorship circle. Not everyone belongs in your inner circle. Some people will be in your life for certain reasons. I'm not saying that you should use and manipulate anybody, but just know that you are important. Therefore, not everyone deserves the right to be in your space, your time and space. So use wisdom, use discernment with that, because you are vital. You are important. This is your temple. You have to protect your temple and all three brains. You understand? Now, with those things being said, I want you to understand this. If you believe in yourself enough, you respect yourself enough, why not write down your goals? Right now, write down what you want to accomplish. This increases your chances of success by 1,000%. Writing your dreams and goals down takes you from just surviving to thriving. I'm not just saying scribble a couple of notes, a couple of lines. I'm talking about writing those goals down. As I mentioned before, put a deadline, put a lifeline to them, give them a date, and then you could go about planning. Because once you do that, now your brain takes you seriously. Keep your word to yourself. There's no way you can keep your word to others. You can't keep your word to yourself. And how you keep your word to yourself? You write down the goals that you have. And every detail as possible on how you're going to accomplish these things. Because as you write your goals down, as you write the details to them, guess what happens? Now, an idea might come from this way. An idea might come from this way. One might come from this way, from here to there. You just never know. It's like your brain now is a spider web, grabbing all the connections, reminding you, to email this woman, contact this man, see what's happening with them, follow up. Don't forget to follow up this email you sent out a few months ago, a couple years ago. See how they're doing. Right now we're in the quarantine. Some of us are still quarantining. Some of us are not. We're out and about. But the coronavirus quarantine was the perfect time to catch up on your work, catch up on reading, catch up on your ideas. Do not give up on your goals. Dig up those dreams. Believe me, you'll thank me for it. All right? Believe in yourself. The Winning the Mirror, activating your mind, body, and spirit. Coming soon, September 2020. King Kevin Dorival. Go to my website, kevindorival.com, and please share this video. If I taught you anything, if you learned anything, if you want to be a blessing, support some of my books, or even make a donation. It's all good with me. Follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to share this video, and be blessed, be encouraged. King Kevin.
King